Hey guys, welcome to another amazing day. And today is day 9. Like 9 days. It's been phenomenal. And I'm sure by now you're starting to feel differently, act differently, and you're able to manage your emotions. Yesterday we spoke about how to manage your anger or how to manage anger. Let me not personalize it to your own. We spoke about how to manage anger, and today we're going to be talking about how to manage impulses. Right. So what are impulses? Impulses are strong urges to act quickly. Impulses are things that want to make you just, do things very spontaneously. They can lead to you saying things or doing things without thinking. So if you are acting based on impulse, or if you are very impulsive, it means that you are just doing things without possibly thinking about the consequence of what you're doing. An example is like interrupting people. People are speaking and you're interrupting them. You are shouting, you're grabbing, you're walking out of people, right? So why should we control our invoices? Why do we need to control our invoices? Now, it helps you stay calm and respectful. Nobody wants to be around, and I keep saying it. Nobody wants to be a good friend or close to someone that is very impulsive, that speaks anyhow, that acts anyhow without prior thinking of the consequences. So when you learn to control your impulse, you're not acting irrationally. You're able to stay calm and stay respectful. It makes people trust you more. You're just in that reliable spectrum for people. People just know you as someone they could always reach out to, and someone that they can trust with their hearts down. Now when it means heart, does not necessarily have to be a relationship. It could be a friendship. You don't want to be a friend that speaks to people unruly and just gets on people's nerves anyhow. Now, it also gives you time to make smart choices, right? You're able to think and say, oh, if I do this, part of one of the major topics that we treat in the Willing Nurtures Varsity that I love as an adult is what we call decision making. I'm talking about the 3 C's of decision making, which has to do with the choices, the challenges, and the consequences, right? For everything you want to do, whether you want to think of what to wear, what course to do, whether to stay in class, to hang out with friends, whatever it is you're trying to do, it is like a challenge for your brain, right? Then the choices you have to hit, not to hit, to wear black, to wear pink, to wear lemon, whatever those things are, those choices are there. Then the consequence, if I wear lemon to an event where I've been asked to wear white, what will be the consequence? Now, if you're thinking or if you're acting based on impulse, you will not be able to sit down and process all of these things I just mentioned. So you being able to sit down and process your thoughts is what we can call controlling your impulses, right? Now, what are the common impulsive behaviors you can see around your friends and colleagues? Now, talking over others. Someone is talking and just somebody coming over the person and just saying things, and it's like you're just talking over the person's head. It's not nice. It's not a good one to do. So when you're talking over others, it is a sign of being impulsive. When you're acting without permission, you get to a space, you do not ask, you just dip your hand inside somebody's food. Some people can say etiquette, right? Some people say lack manners. You see somebody's food, you see, just dip your hands inside and you're not even asking. You just ask without permission. You pick someone else's earpiece, you're using it. All those behaviors are not very nice one. Now, grabbing things in anger, you just want to snatch things from people instead of you taking permission and allowing them, you're playing football and they're not letting you play. So you should take your time and ask for it. You just want to grab it. All those kind of characters are called impulsive character. Now, sending hurtful texts. I used to be this person, before when I'm feeling angry, I would pick up my phone and pour out my thoughts via text. And for me, once I'm done, whatever it is I've said to you, they are done in my mind, like period. But see the people that I send those texts to, they don't forget. Some people would keep those texts for years and it holds a place in their heart. So it's very impulsive to send hurtful texts. So when I'm angry, and I could remember my mom telling me then that regardless of how you're feeling, never send a text to express your thoughts. So right now, I don't even get that angry anymore. But if I want to, I will just take my time, and when I see you, I talk over the phone, right? Another example of impulsive behavior is quitting on task too fast. You start this task, and before you say jack, you feel like, I can't do it. You move on to another thing. That is another way to know that you're having impulsive behavior, right? So how do you now control it? Now you need to think before you act. You need to think before you act, right? And again, the same strategies we've been talking about, we're going to go back to them. And you count 1 to 10. So by now you should know that one of the acts to controlling the expression of your emotion is pause. Like, it's that simple. Count from 1 to 10. Breathe in, breathe out. Now, the next thing will now be, ask yourself, what happens if I do this? So, for instance, someone has said something to you, like I was saying, someone has hurt you really bad, and you want to express your anger or your displeasure, and you pick up your phone and you start to type things that are very hurtful. You might want to ask yourself, what would happen if I do this? The person receives the message, feels very bad, and the person escalates, the person probably replies you with more hurtful words, or you lose the relationship, things like that. You need to sit down and ask yourself, what happens if I do this, right? Now, another thing you can do is what we call the wait technique, like WAIT, the wait technique. And W stands for, what am I feeling? You need to be able to pause and ask yourself, what am I feeling at the moment? The A is, am I calm? The I is this the right choice? Then the T is you taking a moment, right? If you're part of our inner class, there's an activity we do for this, and you see how we will play it, right? So you need to wait for everything you want to do. You want to explore the wait technique to say, okay, what am I feeling? How am I feeling inside of me? Am I calm enough for this decision? Is it the right choice I want to take? And then you take a moment before you do that. Now, if you are not someone that manages their impulse, you'll find out that you continue to do things that you will regret too soon, right? You will do things that you will wish you had not done, because you are probably just thinking, you're just acting without thinking, right? So I would ask you, what's something that you are doing or you've done that you regret? So in the last 6 months, 3 months, 2 months, what is that one thing that you regret doing very quickly? And what would you have done instead? What is that thing that you feel like, oh, I shouldn't have done this. This is what I should have done instead. Now, what will you try next time? And these are the things that you would find in your worksheet, right? So again, impulse control is your superpower. You just have to know, you just have to learn how to hold back. It's not everything that you put your mouth in. It's not every conversation that you jump into. It's not every food that you see that you're going to eat. It's not every joke that you crack. It makes you lose respect. It reduces your steeze. Yeah, I think that's the word. When you're impulsive, people don't tell you important things because they feel like, oh, but they don't even take you to really good places. They don't invite you to where you can meet with dignitaries, because it feels like if you send this person there, um, I might just say things out of control, right? Now, the stronger people are those that pause without reacting, right? So you need to learn to build your strength. You need to learn to build your impulse. And for every time you want to act, like I said, wait, ask yourself, what am I feeling, right? Why am I going to do this? Am I calm? Is this the best for me? Then you take a moment. So before you do anything, think about it, hold on, process it, and you will see that you start to manage your impulses. You see food, you want to ask yourself, is this good food good for me? It's not, like I said, it's not everything that comes to your eyes that you eat. It's not every word that you see that you say out. Some people, they don't even know how to mind their words. They just give it all out like that. Like, so there, that's who I am. excuse me, that's not who you are. You can be a better person. You can manage your impulse. You can start to act before you think. I hope it's been an amazing time here once again, and you now know what impulses are, and you know how to manage your impulses and control your impulses. Have an amazing time. See you in day 10. Bye.